Completion certificates that are not paid. Account officer, to you, are you moving on well with this contract? Are you successfully moving on well?
Madam Chair, we are not moving well with this contract.
That's the reason as to why.
I can't say I'm moving well. A contract that should have taken 4 years, it has taken 6 years. I can't say we are moving well because we don't have adequate resources. Madam Chair, I wanted to clarify something.
Please do.
The penalty, the interest that we paid is not on the advance payment.
No, it's on the contract. We didn't say on the advance.
It is on the certificate that was presented for payment.
That is a contract.
After the advance
That is
payment.
a contract. Whether it was on what, it is interest paid on a contract.
Yeah.
Whether it was a certificate of when or how, that is interest paid on a contract. Out of failure to meet contractual obligations. As simple as that. Whether it was on certificate number 1, 2, 3, 10, that doesn't matter.
Madam Chair, I would like to inform you about other considerations that were brought in this contract. Actually, the situation could have been worse because there's a period within which we should have paid the advance payment. Even that, we didn't have money. Now, the advance payment should have been paid within a very short period of time. But the contractor said, we will wait until when you have assembled the 20%. They didn't.
Account officer, you know, the way you are casually speaking to a contract, it's as if you are managing your own restaurant. A contract has its own terms and conditions. If this person also casually said, you know, I can wait when you get the advance, why did he then penalize you out of failure to delay payment for a certificate? He would also have said, the fact that you've not yet gotten the money, please, you wait. I will wait till when you get it, you will pay me. But this good person that you are talking about had to penalize you out of failure to pay the certificates in time. If he was so good to you, he wouldn't have penalized you with the 530 million. You wouldn't have paid that money. So, honorable colleagues and the team the other side, contractual obligations must be respected. A contract is a contract. Somebody might be a friend, but when it comes to a contractual commitment, don't handle it casually. That is why we are facing these consequences. Number 2, you have a legal advisor of the institution. What do they do under such circumstances? Because for your account officer, after having observed these financial constraints, you ought to have looked at a contract and call on your team. What do we do under such circumstances? You have your Solicitor General as the overall advisor of these contracts. A contract, as I said, a contract is not permanent and pensionable. A contract can always be revised. Procurement, don't we have provisions for revising a contract under circumstances where you seem to have, other factors that affect implementation of a contract? Colleagues, we have serious issues with multi-year contracts. And this is one of the areas that finance, the Office of the Solicitor General, must look into. Because if, for example, you face challenges of inflows in the first year, what would happen? Don't you think we can revise the contract to have a commitment on every year that we get money? Because what do you gain out of signing a full amount of 30 billion and you are not sure whether you will get the money or not? Phase it. Phase 1 will have such and such component. You advertise the whole thing, but in phases. Phase 1, contract signed, implement. If we go in year 2 and we have the money, sign phase 2. But when the whole document is what? Is submitted. Government is facing a lot of wastage in some of these areas. For you are seeing your 530 million here. Yesterday we had the leader. Leader had the same circumstances and a contract of 16 billion. The very government has commitments for the last 5 years of 435 billion under commitment fees out of failure to utilize money. When you add all this is money that can be allocated to a certain entity, budgets of serious entities. That is why we are so strict on issues of wastage. Every leakage affects other institutions. 530 billion can do something to your institution. This is locally mobilized revenue, your NTR. That is being put towards 530 million is a lot of money.
Chair. Yeah, I guess our witnesses here have felt the heat in our hearts. And I would want to plead that one, we sustain the query because there is nothing that is coming out from the other side.
It will come out.
Yeah, it will come out at the right time. And we have taken nearly 1 hour or so on one matter. It signifies the importance of this matter. Now that we have another entity coming, and some members might take off, people are running to constituencies. I want to beg that we first pack this query, sustain it as we wait for those responses, because documents sometimes are not easy to organize under this kind of circumstances.
Now,
they can be given time, and then, Madam Chair, our secretariat needs to take note of the need to discuss deeply with the Minister of Finance on 1 or 2 or 3 issues. One of them is the issue of advance payments to Chinese companies. The second one is the issue of letting entities sign contracts and then you fail to release money to them fully and forcing them to breach the terms of the contract. So, Madam Chair, if you allow, I would beg that we leave this matter here and you give them instructions on what they should deliver as we go to the next item.
Honorable Sellers, I want to thank you for your submission, and we need to help you, accounting officer, from the 35% performance. We are going to bring other stakeholders on board, but we are going to begin with your own. The 3 contract managers here, you are going to move with the CID and make a statement. In regard to this, we shall start from there. And you will have to submit these other documents. A 35% after 7 years performance is unacceptable. And this is the only way we can help you have that contract executed to completion. Finance is going to be brought on board in its own way. But for you now, we are going to have you make statements with the CID. We begin investigating this contract from there.
Madam Chair, out of it, and also to help the university and help the country, is to have this matter investigated to its logical conclusion. And we can only investigate it to its logical conclusion if we have CIDs involved. Otherwise, what we are witnessing is really negligence. It's actually criminal negligence and fraud. Criminal negligence and fraud. There is no way you can perpetuate such negligence with reckless abandon. So I want to support the decision of the chairperson. And you recall, Chair, I did ask from the beginning to know the people who are involved in the negotiations of this contract, because that's where the problem begins from. For example, Chair, are you aware that we are talking about interest here? But the issue of interest is not closed. It is not. It's not closed. So each time there's going to be a delay on the payment of certificates, interest will accrue. So this is not the last time that this is not the last. It could be negotiated, by the way, Chair. And well, we will not tell the CIDs what to do, but that money can be readily available to pay interest. And it's not available to cater for other things, also speaks volumes. So I think this is a matter that, Chair, I want to agree with you.
I would want to, there are those documents that we wanted them first to submit. Maybe you will give them the time that you will prescribe, within which they should deliver to us those documents. And then we see whether they can be.
The documents will find us along the way as we do.
So I would go to university.
The 3 staff that are here, that was the planner, Walter, and who else? The 3. This is a simple exercise. It's not that you have committed an offense, but you are going to help us, to help the country have this contract executed. So, accounting officer, those of your officers should move with the CID and make a statement. We shall begin from there.
are speaking to something different. And if we find that the documents are not speaking to what we want to see, then we can take the step to have them summoned and they go to the CID. Chair, I beg.
Yes, honorable colleagues, I do take and call this matter concluded, and we shall have this document submitted. Help this entity to have this contract completed. Let's have it investigated for the good of the country. It's not that you've committed a crime, but this is when finance will come in to also play its part. You've not stolen money, but let us help you have the contract fully executed. Honorable colleagues, we have made a ruling on this. Let's proceed to another matter. CID, please, officers, do your part as we proceed to another matter.
But Chair, the people in question, maybe the CID doesn't.
Please again.
Chair, I want to thank the other members who made the plea, but I want also you to hear from me.
No, I've heard from you and we've made a ruling. It's not negotiable, accounting officer. We are not here to negotiate. Just read the names. We are helping you to execute your mandate. We are going to negotiate. We are not going to negotiate the ruling. No, it is non-negotiable.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Sorry, I came in late, but my name is Wamakui Modime Ignatius. This issue of Guru is not the first time it's coming to pack. For a number of years I've been around. Even the committees where I've been, it has been surfacing. They have been having this challenge largely because of that policy shift. If I go back to my office, I have some documents. Some of these I've just joined the university, but we dealt with the other group which retired, but were on the same issue. So my request is, like, I need to be supported much as your ruling is final, but I beg that let us have the documents. I also have some documents in the office, my office, which can to enhance whatever we are trying to do. But I know this issue, that's why I kept quiet. I know it from the beginning. I beg that you first give them time, they submit the required documents, then we also compare with what I have. Because some of these have just
Honorable Mudimi, you are going to bring us what you have. Accounting officer, as you do give us those names, we are proceeding to another query, but we are going to have a discussion in-house of 2 minutes after we shall give you the final ruling. But just know with the names, first mention the names that you gave me of the contract managers that are here. Mention them on record and we take them.
Thank you, Chair.
Give us the details of the names.
Chair, the members of the contract management team who are here is Mr. Emmanuel Wesonga.
Emmanuel Wesonga. Who is Wesonga? Yes. Number 2.
Walter Oyuko. Any other?
Walter Oyuko. Who else? Then the third one.
I think those are the 2 who are here.
Those are the 2?
Yeah.
The engineer is away?
Engineer is not here.
Madam Chair, they said there are 3 here.
Now
they are considering a 1.
No, I'm not considering.
I don't know what mechanism you are going to use for identifying the third person, but the person is here.
Who is the third one?
Where is the third person?
The deputy is not here?
He's not here.
On this team, we shall have to bring on board the legal advisor of the institution, should be also brought on board, then the overall contract manager for this contract. Accounting officer, at times there are things we do painfully. Even if it were 7 years, a performance of 35%, 35% after a period of a period of 7 years. We are very cognizant of the inflows of the financials, but as an entity, you ought to have done better than what we are seeing. Ought to have done better. We have spent an hour on this contract because of the magnitude, 30 billion is half of your university budget. Your budget is 68 billion. Half of it is on one contract. And hopefully that is the contract one of the biggest contracts that you've had. Ugandans have been denied the service, money recklessly paid in form of interest, and people think we can move business as usual. We've been relaxing here and there on some of these matters, but for you, this is too much to accommodate. Honorable colleagues, let's proceed to the next query. As we take note of, we shall make a ruling as we do move out. Next query is about payment.
18.4. Number 2 is expenditure on an international conference of 5.2. The third one is on stationery of 680. And then the fourth one is 5.2 on repair of motor vehicles. These payments were made out of e-cash. Madam Chair, to facilitate the process of degazetting the forest reserve, the requirement to have verification of the boundaries of the land that we have in Noya, that we are offering to NFA in exchange for the forest reserve arose. And this is not an expenditure that we had anticipated, but just like I mentioned, the issue of expansion of the institution is very paramount. So we incurred these 4 expenditures out of e-cash. The details, I've explained it here. The first one as a requirement, because Ministry of Water and Environment gave us a checklist on what we need to do as an institution to facilitate the degazettement process. So the issue of verifying the boundaries of that land.
So, Accounting Officer.
Yes, Madam.
It doesn't matter who you paid or not. We are looking at, is it normal, is it legal for the entity to pay this tune of money that exceeds 5 million using e-cash? Is that allowed?
Madam Chair, the last sentence of my response, I do concur with the auditors, and I made a commitment there.
Because let's look at the details here. Look at photocopying and binding. We have this payment to Rocco Technologies Limited, Rock Technologies Limited, 5.2. What happened to that one? Well, an official travel to Kampala, motor vehicles number, this one, mechanical. It was a mechanical challenge?
Yes.
Don't you have shortlisted providers for mechanical repairs and maintenance?
We do.
Then why did we have to advance somebody?
Madam Chair, this vehicle was in camp. So this was an emergency repair to enable the vehicle to go back. Madam Chair, my last sentence, I was saying that I concur with the auditors, and I made a commitment that we will follow the due guidelines on e-cash to avoid this kind of expenditure in future.
Concurring with the auditors does not write off the query. And I think it is now easier for us. We take note of the concurrence, but does not deal away with the what? The query. Admitted, so we'll write our report.
The query is sustained.
That's what I'm saying, we will write our report.
The query is sustained. Outstanding salary advances of 14.7.
The first one died. She's already deceased. And there's no other way we could have recovered the advance. The second person, I have provided evidence on what we have done so far to have this money recovered. This is somebody who is working in the local government. The matter has been, I've instructed my legal department to take whatever steps that is within the law to have this because he left the institution. He left Gulu University after some time. He's now no longer working with us. So we are following this very aggressively with the legal department.
Where is he's called Openi Wilfred? Where is he working? Which local government is that? One of the colleagues, as you look at Appendix 1 of Openi, which local government did he go?
Noya District Local Government.
Sorry?
Noya.
Yeah, with the Noya District Local Government.
Huh?
It's in another district.
He's in another district, but so close. That is where we want to buy the land, to exchange the land in Noya. That is so close to you. How do we fail to recover money from somebody who is in a sister agency? This is government to government.
Yeah.
Yes, Honorable.
Chair, the accounting officer, with due respect on your part, and next time, Chair, through you, I request that they move the legal officer. Through you, Chair, next time they are to appear. I would love to take on the legal officer on these particular issues. I may spare you, but I would love to take on the legal officer. For example, how do you say you cannot recover anything from the dead? How can you give that reason? Yes. So this your explanation here, with the due respect, is also lacking.
Appendix 1.
Then how do you say
Appendix 1.
somebody left is in another local government, and therefore recovery is becoming extremely difficult?
How?
How do you say that? So I really think that there is unseriousness. Your legal team is not supporting you. It's really not helping you. And they are lucky they are not here. We would have taken them on scientifically and legally. But I think since you have said you have written to them, this explanation should never have been given to the auditors. In fact, the explanation should have been that the matter is already before court. That makes sense. But that somebody is dead. The loan succession, the loan estate management and what is very clear. When you die, by the way, you don't escape civil liability, because your estate is there. Maybe the accounting officer could help us. You never know, there is a law to take that action. They can quote for us and then we follow it. We might have passed the law and then we forgot about it. That will be something of very, very important, whatever. Yeah. And then additionally, before you respond, at least we would have expected a letter from you to the new place of work where our employee has shifted to, telling those people to help us recover money from that person. This letter would really exonerate you totally, because you will have done your part. Do you have any kind of letter of that nature that you wrote maybe to those people? Yeah, let me I am now Guru University. Our legal team, we of Guru University, our legal team should have sued that staff to have these monies recovered. Okay, then we get orders and garnish the account. Yes, wherever the account is, you would have gotten what we call garnish orders, to have the accounts in, to have the money picked from the account. So it is just laxity on our legal team.
You staff of Guru.
We of Guru University. We the legal department of Guru University. So accounting officer, I think, tell your guys to be serious. They are not helping you on that one.
Yeah, I actually wrote to the CA of Noya. I have that communication on file, informing him that his staff was my former staff, has financial obligation. Yes, so I have not received from the company.
Madam Chair, much as we got the legal advice, for me I take that seriously. because on the side of the accounting officer, at least they made that effort. I expected to hear that at least. So I would love to see that evidence. I don't know whether that letter
Yeah,
is
Chair,
attached
in my
anywhere
response
here.
number 2, under that query, it's
The letter,
on paper.
is it attached here? Is it anywhere here? That letter to that CEO.
I'll check. And then, Chair, I wanted to explain something about Anyeko Christine. Maybe to explain the administrative process of the university. Because here in my response, I was saying this matter was discussed by the Audit and Risk Committee, and then agreed to recommend to the University Council. The matter was presented before management, discussed exhaustively. It went to the Committee of Council, which is the Audit and Risk Management Committee. They discussed it, and that is the decision of the committee, which I have explained here. But Chair, I take it positively if I take that guidance. If my legal team can write to, did you say to administrative estates, and that amount can be recovered? I'll take it positively.
The legal team knows what to do. They will.
Madam Chair, on the second issue that is responding to, I would request that you supply this committee through my chair with those minutes where council took a decision to say drop this advance because the person in question is already deceased. Because for me and to me, you will have done your part. Council is the one that governs the what? The running of the university, and there is little you can do away from their decisions. So that document, if paraded to this committee, will be of great help. I don't know whether you have it here. The minutes of council, the minute number, where they took that decision to say, drop this, because you relied on that.
I'll provide that.
Honorable colleagues, let's go to page 8. This is the Auditor General's report. We are going to implement, and you got 100% of your releases. Hope that is true, accounting officer. Your budget was released 100%. Utilization of warrants, we are there. Let's go to implementation of activities, of funded activities. That's 3.32. We want to look at these the items that were partially implemented. But before we get there, before we get to these appendices, this is Appendix 3, partial implementation. Honorable colleagues, let's go to the activities that were partially implemented and Appendix 3, and we get those details. You received the money and you failed to fully implement the activities that you had planned. You can help us move quickly to the appendix. The document is not so okay. Appendix 3 is showing something different. This is a disposal plan. You said it's page 19? Accounting officer, are you there? Let me use yours. Now the letter is too small. Under human capital development, research, innovation, and transfer of technology. Supervision of 23 PhD students done. Out of these, this is minimal. 580 masters lectured and examined, 580. We only did 192. Take us through that. Why did you get all the money, and how had some of these activities not fully implemented, accounting officer?
with your permission, allow me to ask the senior planning officer to give detailed response to these queries.
Thank you, Accounting Officer. Chair, these numbers actually relate to what we had targeted in terms of recruitment, and the shortfalls, some arise from students who do not enroll. If you look at 23, one didn't enroll, and all these, but you realize that, Chair, majority of the costs within the teaching are fixed. So whether you have one student, all the lecturers will attend to that one student in that room. So the cost is still fixed when you're lecturing one student or you're lecturing 20 students. So that explains majority of these numbers where we didn't go to 100%.
Okay. There is something that we skipped about these payments, I'm seeing this attachment, these payments of human capital management system.
Would love to find out whether you gave that justification to the Auditor General.
And the
because they would have not maybe noted this query here if you had explained very well. How come you didn't tell them? Were you busy?
You can respond.
Chair, the same explanation that we are giving here was the same explanation.
So just let us open up that statement. You're not going to be detained. Don't detain them. Please just make a statement, go back to Gulu. Accounting officer, you're going to move with your team. The two that are around, just make a statement, go with them.
Madam Chair, I have information for you.
You have information for me?
Yes. The police operators, the DPCs are the ones who command. You never know what happens. Maybe we just allow them to make their statements.
Here?
Yeah, and we leave it at that. Because we don't know. We don't know what happens. Those are
Silas, we have, and it is the interest of helping you.
Chair, I thought we had agreed that we wait for the documents and then they make the statements. To the fact that we first receive those documents and verify them, and then they can make the statement. Madam Chair.
We shall not receive we shall only receive documents from you.
The documents, Madam Chair, the documents from Gulu. He is only willing to offer us additional information, but the documents we are talking about are those that are coming from.
Which document? Madam Chair. Among the documents that we are talking about.
Which ones now?
We wanted that first letter because they said they are numerous.
The fact, the only way we are going to be helped with this contract. You might not like it, but it's the only way. Just make a statement, go home. Say that you are helped to begin. Otherwise, when we allow Betcamia to investigate, you will not get anything out of it. The only way to be helped by finance is you make a statement, we initiate, finance begins from there. It is the fault of finance, not you. Why don't you allow to do a statement? And the accounting officer is very comfortable with this. Aren't you comfortable, sir?
Madam Chair, it really is one of the projects that is at our heart. It is the first structural project for Gulu University. As you know, Gulu University was never provided with the seed funding to put up infrastructure. And when completed, we will be able to double our intake. So it's something that is so dear to us, and the delay in the execution is very, very clear that
this one.
Hey, I just wanted to bring it so that we're seeing only one woman in the front line.
And you are a prayer warrior for women.
But Chair, can we dispose of the issue?
Let's first dispose of this issue.
Of the issue at hand?
Accounting officer, give us some 5 minutes, and your team will make an in-house conclusion, and you come back. But just know, whatever we are doing is we want to help you have this contract implemented. and take it at heart that making a statement does not hurt you. Actually, you will be part of those to make. You'll also make a statement as the head of the institution and tell the CID that finance has failed to give you money. We begin from there, as simple as that. 5 minutes, we conclude. And this is international MS Cheng Che. A contract on 19th June 2019 for of the Business and Development Center. That is the teaching facility, the central teaching facility, at a contract sum of 30 billion. Up to date, the contract is incomplete, and we have noted and observed several anomalies under this contract, inclusive of negligence on the part of the contract management team that failed to look at the modalities of having this contract revised after observing that the Ministry of Finance failed to allocate to you the reasonable resources for implementation of this contract, right from the period of 2018-19 financial year to 2023-2024. And to date, the contract is at 35% physical performance. The contract was supposed to be completed within a period of 4 years. So in the interest of helping the country in line of contract management and implementation, and after having observed that Gulu University paid 530 million in line of interest out of failure to pay, to fulfill payment for some certificates in time, we have resolved that the accounting officer, Obolo David, Walter Oyuku, who is in charge of procurement but part of the contract management team, and Wesonga Emmanuel, part of the contract management team, go and help us to initiate a statement that will help us ensure that finance provides you with adequate resources, and also we shall bring the Solicitor General on board, we shall bring your legal officer on board in the interest of helping you in ensuring this contract is implemented, yes, late, but at least having it concluded. Kindly go and make a statement with the CID, and we shall make a follow-up. We are going to communicate on the date that we shall engage you again with the Minister of Finance, Office of the Solicitor General, and your contract manager, plus the consultant, plus Chico, and the legal advisor of Gulu University. Meeting is adjourned to 2 as we interface with Muni University. I want to thank you. Olunaku leero akakiiko akalondoola ku nkozesa y'essente z'omuwoomusolo mu gavumenti ez'ebitundu n'ebitongole ebirala kasisinkanyeko yunivasite y'eggulu. Yunivasite y'eggulu yasayininga contract mu 2019 okuzimba ekizimbe bo kye bayita Business Administration Development Center mu 2019. Mpaka kati mu 2025 ekizimbe kyakakolebwako ebitundu 3.5 ku 10 naye bakasasulako billion 12. Contract eno yabalirirwa okubanga ejja kutwala billion 3. Naye kyewunyisa nti okutuusa kati university esasudde amagoba ga million 5.3 oluvannyuma lw'okulemererwa okusasula Chico kampani eno ey'Abachina mu budde. Bannaffe abalondola akakiiko abalondola entambuza y'omulimu guno nga batudde butuuzi tewali kye bakola. Naye kyewunyisa tulina gwe bayita supervising consultant, kampani evunaanyizibwa mu kulaba nga ebakalabalaba ku lwa Gulu University nga kampani eno ekola omulimu. Kampani ya Chico kaakati olwaleero bwe bazze mu kakiiko kampani eno eremereddwa, Gulu University eremereddwa okunnyonnyola kye yakola mu 2019 step gye yatekinga nga Ministry of Finance eganye okubawa ssente ez'okukola omulimu muno mu budde. Okuva mu 2019 babawo billion 2, billion 1, billion 4 ne contract management committee n'esirika busirisi. Institution eno erina legal advisor. Tulina office number eya Solicitor General eyambako government okulaba nga contract revisingibwa, nga contract zitunulwamu, okulaba nga Uganda tefiirwa ssente. Ensonga lwaki tugambye Gulu University accounting officer n'abakozi b'abalala 3 bagende bakole statement wa CID batuyambeko okwongera okulaga ebitongole ebirala nti tosobola kumala gafiiriza bawe ba musolo ssente mukyeyo nonero kubanga olw'obulagajjavu. Yes, what the government yalemerera okuwa Gulu University sente mu budde naye neba contract managers bakola obulagajjavu negligence kubanga contracts teziri permanent and pensionable. Contract esobola okuba revised osobola okugiddamu okugitunulamu mu butya conditions, terms and conditions okufuba okulaba nti embeera eriwo etambula n'ebiri mu ndagaano. So accounting office ono ne bane tubalabe nga balagajjavu nnyo emyaka 7 era mukyalimu akawaayiro akalaga nti buli kikolwa n'aleetanga certificate ng'amaliriza nga Gulu University terina ssente ennaku zoonaalwangawo okusasula government ejja kusasulanga amagoba. Bino mubirayi mu Ministry ya Works. For now Ministry ya Works esasula million eziwere ebina buli lunaku oluvannyuma lw'okulemerera okusasula abacontractor mu budde. Mwalaba mu consolidated accounts government number twakafiirwa mu myaka 5 bilioni 435 muzibayita commitment fees. So government ng'ogigasegase erina ssente zeesifirizibwa mu bino ebintu bya procurement. Contracts obutagwa mu budde, Ministry obutasasula ssente mu budde. Kati eno Gulu University twagala eservinge ng'ekyokulabirako. Naye tetugenda kukoma wano. Ministry ya Finance eteekwa okuvaayo ennyonnyole lwaki tusayininga endagaano zino ze bayita multi-year contracts. Contracts ezitwala okusukka mu mwaka ogumu. Ministry of Finance negamba Solicitor General akole commitment ku ludda lwa government ate netawa entities zino ssente. Number 2, Solicitor General asayininga endagaano zino awa advice oba awabula ebitongole bya government mu ndagaano ze basayininga ne contracts. Oluvannyuma lw'okulaba nti government ejja kusobola kufuna ssente Solicitor General taddangamu ku revisinga contract eno. Naye ne Gulu University tesabanga Solicitor General contract eno girevisinga kujjamu buwaayiro obwo obunyigiriza Gulu nga university obuleetedde eggwanga okufiirwa ssente empitirivu. Wano wembagambira nti ezo milioni 5.3 ezasasulwa waliwo certificate endala ze batannasasula zipendinga. Kitegeeza nti eno contract eyinza okutuuka okuggwako ng'osasuludde nga bilioni namba n'okusoba mu magoba kubanga olemereddwa okusasula mu budde. Ezo ssente ze twogerako zisobola okuzimba ebizimbe mu masomero, zisobola okuteeka eddagala mu malwaliro, zisobola okukola ebintu ebirala amakubo ebiyambako bannayuganda okufuna obuweereza. So tugenda kulwana nnyo okulaba nga tujja obulagajjavu mu bakozi ba gavumenti naye ne Ministry ya Finance okwongera ogiteeka ku nninga bakole omulimu gwabwe ng'abakugu.